For this first day of school, I wanted to do just a little presentation explaining why we do this. Why do we work so hard to become better writers? And really, it is all about communication and getting points and thoughts across so that those around us know exactly what we're trying to tell them, whether we're trying to teach them something or to communicate our thoughts and our feelings. So again, this presentation is why we work to become better writers. I've scheduled it for our very first day of class together. And as I said, there are many ways to represent different things. That could be numbers, such as the numeral 10, 1, 0. We recognize this. We know that it's 10. It's the number greater than 9. It's the number less than 11. It's an amount. We can also communicate it by spelling it out. T-E-N is 10. We immediately know it's a number greater than 9, less than 11. And of course, if we're very smart, we see the Roman numeral X, we know this 10. It's the numeral greater than IX and less than XI. There might be different ways or different uses for different expressions of 10. It doesn't mean that one is always better than the other. There are going to be times when 10 is more appropriate to use than X. Again, times like when we're talking about which Super Bowl it is, it's more appropriate to use Roman numerals than it is to spell it out. There are just times when one expression works better than another. Doesn't mean one is better than the other. So, for example, 2 times 5, we recognize that as 10. So how many apples should I buy at the farmer's market? I'm baking 2 pies, each takes 5. 2 times 5. I know that that's the amount of apples that I need to pick up at the market. Somebody might ask me, how many pets do you have? Maybe they expect me to say 10. Or maybe they want me to be a little bit more specific. Well, I have 5 fish, I have 3 cats, and I have 2 dogs. That's how many pets I have. A different way of expressing 10. How many students are in each group? Well, we have 20 students and we have 2 groups. So I guess we could do the math, right? 20 divided by 2 is just our way of expressing 10. 10 students in each group. How many books do we need? We need 1 for Sydney, plus 1 for Chase, plus 1 for Desmond, plus 1 for Abby, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, until we get to 10. There are different times when we have different expressions for that number 10, and just some are more appropriate than others. The same can work for simple images as well, just like a noun, like a tree. If I'm going to need a picture of a tree to show my gardener what I want in my front yard. I can't just express to him, plant a tree. I need to be more specific. So I might show him or describe to him a maple tree. I might show him an ash tree. Perhaps an oak tree. I'm going to want to be very specific and show him exactly what I want, because I might end up with something like this. And that could cause a lot of problems in my neighborhood. Could be some car wrecks as people are slamming on their brakes wondering, did I just see what I thought I saw? But there are going to be times when other pictures are more appropriate for the situation. But they wouldn't work for every situation. They're not better than any other picture of a tree. They're just different. So for a child's room, I might want to use kind of a cartoony, cute little picture of a tree. Maybe for a science or agriculture class, I would use a more appropriate picture for that. Perhaps I'm talking about a root system, or we're discovering what kind of trees would work best in what kind of landscape. Or for art for your home. You might not want that cartoony picture of a tree hanging up in your foyer or your grand living room. You might want a picture, a representation like this. Or like this. See, we create ideas and images with the specific words we use. And that's why we're talking about writing, because it's the words we use, it's the order that we put them in, and it's the details that we wish to include. So let's just give an example of the idea of me cook. Well, all it does is it tells you two things. It tells you me, this individual, the one speaking into this microphone, and cook, holding food over a heat source until it changes the composition. It doesn't tell you when I'm going to do that. Me cook in the past, me cook now, me cook in the future. It doesn't tell you why I'm going to do it. It doesn't even tell you what exactly I'm going to be cooking. Me cook might be just fine for, if I wanted to express that information to a caveman, or possibly somebody who's just has rudimentary understanding of English language right now. How about, I'm going to cook dinner for my wife tonight? Well, that could answer several questions. That might be exactly the perfect sentence to get the proper point across. Hey, Troy, what are you going to do tonight? Oh, I'm going to cook dinner for my wife tonight. Hey, Troy, you want to go grab some pizza after class? I'm going to cook dinner for my wife tonight. I know exactly why I'm not going to join you for pizza. Hey, Troy, what are you doing here in the grocery store? I'm going to cook dinner for my wife tonight. It's just enough information that lets you know the answer to whatever question you asked. And you're allowed to fill in the blanks. Oh, okay, that's why he can't go for pizza, is because he's going to be busy tonight cooking for his wife. It tells you who's doing it, when I'm doing it, what I'm doing, what I'm cooking, the reason I'm doing it. It might be just enough information. But maybe we're really close friends and you want some more details into our life. And I give you this information. Tonight, I'm going to make a romantic dinner for my wife. I'm going to light a few candles, prepare a Caesar salad, cook eggplant parmesan with fresh tomato basil sauce, open a bottle of sparkling cider. Now, if we are good friends, and you want that kind of insight into my life, then that's great. But perhaps you don't really want that much detail. Hey, Troy, you want to grab some pizza afterwards, after school? And I give you all this information? Well, that could just be too much information. It's more than you really want to know. This could be a case of TMI, right? Oh, too much information. I don't need to know your romantic plans and your love for sparkling cider. So there are proper times to say the proper things in the proper order with the proper amount of detail. How about this? Tonight, I'm going to cook my wife dinner. Well, what we have here is a misplaced modifier, something we'll talk about a little later in the year. But if we just stop right here, tonight I'm going to cook my wife, it sounds like I'm going to throw my wife into a pot of boiling water and make some soup out of her. Hopefully you know that would never happen, but we have a responsibility as educated people, as an intelligent people, to know how to communicate our thoughts and our feelings. Sometimes it needs to be in the quickest, most concise way. Sometimes it needs to have more detail or less detail. And sometimes it needs to be more aesthetically pleasing, beautiful to listen to. That's why we work to become better writers, so that we can work to become better communicators. I hope you've enjoyed this short little video, and I will see you in class. Thank you.